Celtic Myths and Legends by T.W. Rolleston. Chapter 2 The Religion of the Celts. The Tumulus at New Grange. One of the most important and richly sculptured of European megalithic monuments is the great chambered tumulus of New Grange on the northern bank of the Boyne in Ireland. This tumulus, and the others which occur in its neighborhood, appear in ancient Irish mythical literature in two different characters, the union of which is significant. They are regarded, on the one hand, as the dwelling places of the Sib, pronounced she, are fairy folk, who represent, probably, the deities of the ancient Irish. Now, definitely they were those mentioned and worshipped and addressed as such, and we might bring up the word Jinn. And they are also traditionally the burial places of the Celtic High Kings of Ireland. The story of the burial of King Cormac, who was supposed to have heard of the Christian faith long before it was actually preached in Ireland by St. Patrick, and who ordered that he should not be buried at the royal cemetery by the Boyne on account of its associations, points to the view that this place was the center of a cult involving more than merely the interment of royal personages in its precincts. Unfortunately, these monuments are not intact. They were opened and plundered by the Danes in the 9th century of the Common Era, but enough evidence remains to show that they were sepulchral in their origin, and were also associated with the cult of a primitive religion. Tumbly is getting rumbly. The most important of them, the tumulus of New Grange, has been thoroughly explored and described by Mr. George Coffey, keeper of the collection of Celtic antiquities in the National Museum of Dublin. It appears from the outside like a large mound or knoll, now overgrown with bushes. It measures about 240 feet across. At its greatest diameter, and is about 44 feet in height. Outside it, there runs a wide circle of standing stones. Originally, it would seem 35 in number. Inside the circle is a ditch and rampart, and on top of this rampart was laid a circular curb of great stones, 8 to 10 feet long, laid on edge, and confining what has proved to be a huge mound of loose stones now overgrown, as we have said, with grass and bushes. It is in the interior of this mound that the interest of the monument lies. Towards the end of the 17th century, some workmen who were getting road material from the mound came across the entrance to a passage which led to the interior and was marked by the fact that the boundary stone below it is richly carved with spirals and lozenges. The entrance faces exactly southeast. The passage is formed of upright slabs of unhewn stone, roofed with similar slabs, and varies from nearly 5 feet to 7 feet 10 inches in height. Into the heart of the mound, here it ends, in a cruciform chamber, 20 feet high, the roof, a kind of dome, being formed of large flat stones, overlapping inwards till they almost meet at the top, where a large flat stone covers all. In each of the 3 recesses of the cruciform chamber there stands a large stone basin, or rude sarcophagus, but no traces of any burial now remains. Now, remember, the cruciform is a female symbol. Antiquities in the Museum of Dublin, the keeper, George Coffey, Transactions of the Royal Irish Academy, Volume 30, Part 1, 1892, and New Grange by C. Coffey, 1912. And the first note, what does that say? Plundered by the Danes in the 9th century, the fact is recorded by the Annals of the Four Masters under the date 861, and in the Annals of Ulster under 862.